Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Frankie-san.
And I'm Mark.
Okay, just a couple quick bits here. What you're watching here is a special show that will be pre-taping Saturday early afternoon. We usually bi-weekly Saturdays at 5 p.m. we go live. We missed a couple of shows. I was sick, he was out of town, so we missed the show, so we kind of need to catch up because we got over 10 movies to review real quick. We could do a little bit of Mandalorian and all the rumors about Skywalker. So the quick announcement is the last 3 shows that we did do live, I had a real big technical error. They're finally posted on YouTube. This show hopefully will be done within the weekend of December 7th. And then hopefully you'll be able to see everything by Monday, which is I think the 9th. And there's going to be a lot of links posted. For example, the stuff we're doing is Instagram, Pinterest. I'll get more into that next time. So the links will be there. Somebody who's really good, I'd like to mention, because he's hysterical, Overlord DVD. He's doing a lot of coverage about the Rise of Skywalker. And he constantly has updates like practically every other day now. A lot of good information. He's got a great track record. Now, if you want to know what's going on with Skywalker, and you don't care about spoilers, because you really don't care about the damn movie like I don't, or I don't know about him. Do you care? Yes, no?
No, not really.
Okay,
but I'll be willing to watch, what do you call this, the dumpster fire that is Star Wars now.
Yeah, I'm going to go because I just want to see I want to see the fans throw popcorn out of that. They had a screening, and something happens to the Millennium Falcon, maybe, quizá, I don't know. There's just rumors and people just walked out of the screening. I'm a big fan of that particular ship, and I don't want anything happen to it, okay? This is a little model. I'm going to be talking about this because this is going to be one of the things that's going to be happening on Instagram.
So you mean that, so you're saying that they may have gone by way of Star Trek. You know how Star Trek was doing stuff to their ship? On almost every movie, any chance.
Blowing up the Enterprise, yeah.
Once it happened, they would just keep repeating the same trope over and over again.
Now this is a little model of the Falcon, believe it or not. This is actually the prototype of, everybody who saw, remembers Empire Strikes Back, there was a scene where they're going through the asteroid belt, missing the rocks, and this was the actual size model that they used for that particular scene, and all it did was go closer to the camera and far away. That was the size of the actual Falcon for that scene, believe it or not. Okay, and I don't know how they did the details. I'm looking at the details over here, and I'm going to need a big giant magnifying glass just to paint those little details. But anyway, that's just a little trivia tidbit. Okay, thank you. Okay, because I'm going to bring some other models. Yes, I'm a big time model maker, and I got a Star Trek model this as big. Still in a box, okay, in Puerto Rico. And I had the original Millennium Falcon that actually had, in the back, it lit up, but you needed like 6 D batteries. And what happened was, when you put the D batteries in, the model would go boom. That thing only lasted about a month. They actually replaced it with some kind of LED lights. There we go, a little tongue twister. But anyway, that's the information on that. So 3 shows have been posted. This is going to be posted, so you'll have all the past 4 shows. December 9th, we're going to have a show that's next weekend. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay? We're going to go live, and we're going to concentrate on Star Wars, okay? I'm going to go back to the Mandalorian. I'm getting all tongue twisted here again. Okay, December 7th, the ultimate movie about the attack of Pearl Harbor. Now, what the hell am I mentioning this for? Well, of course, the gratitude to the armed services of the men and women. But not only that, because Toshiro Mifune was in it. Here's connecting the dots, doing the Kevin Bacon game. Toshiro Mifune, one of the most famous Japanese actors of all time. Rashaban, The Hidden Fortress. Hidden Fortress was actually Akira Kurosawa's movie that was George Lucas based Star Wars on, believe it or not. Okay, he's big on Star Wars. Toshiro Mifune was actually going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi for Star Wars. And Obi-Wan and Toshiro Mifune was always phonetic. He never knew English. And he said, that's too much of a project. And he skipped on it, okay? So of course, Alec Guinness went in it. Now, real quick about the Mandalorian. Does anybody recognize a Shogun pushing a little baby carriage? Lone Wolf and Cub. You remember the manga,
yes,
right?
Yes, of course. Yes, and the movies.
Right. That's what it's based on. Jon Favreau is doing the smart thing. He's going into rich Cadillac, just like George Lucas did the Hidden Fortress. about Shogun Warrior rescuing a princess. Same theme, same idea. Even had the split screens. When the screen cuts in half and then goes this way or that way. Same thing as Seven Samurai. So Lucas, Papa Joton Vario dig in the treasures and find the concept. And of course, let's not forget, the orders are so backed up. We're not going to see a little baby Yoda till about spring, they said, about March. Until you can get the t-shirts now. So I'm into the whole thing. Okay, just real quick, because we get back into it later after we get the reviews. You haven't seen the shows yet, but
No.
okay, so
because I don't want to buy Disney Plus, and I don't want to. I already have Netflix, so I don't want to keep paying into this because the more money you give into this, the more they're going to take away from having one solid chunk of entertainment, and they're going to dilute it so much it's almost like going to have cable television. This is the way I feel about it.
Right. But see, the way I look at it, I got Amazon Prime, right? My friend Jimmy, he has Netflix. And we got a neighbor down the hall who's got Hulu and Disney. So we all take turns crashing each other's places. No problem. That's how we share things, okay? So we coverage. I mean, most of us, especially our age, we all cable cord cutters, I think you could say.
Yeah, of course. I cut a cable a long time ago. I refused to pay for that because I think the last time I had it, it was $100, and then they wanted to go up to $300. And that was back in the early 2000s. And I said, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Right.
And a friend that I know, she's still paying. She's paying like $300 or more.
Oh,
and she's saying,
insane.
She's finally saying, and she has basic. Insane. She doesn't even have HBO, and she's finally has to cut it. This whole mess with, if you don't have it, you're not going to watch basic television. But basic television is almost dead, so I have no problem with not watching basic television. I watch the internet. I love watching, what do you call that? YouTube. Whatever I can get my hands on, I'll stream it.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever's free, I'll stream it and watching. I'm paying for Netflix. Right now, I'm only paying $9. But as soon as they want to go up to like 15 or whatever, and the content keeps getting cut back, I'm pretty much done with it.
I mean, I'm paying $100 now just for internet, which is insane, you know?
I'm paying $40.
Wow, you're
for internet, basic internet, and what do you call that? Landline service.
Landline service, right.
Right, $40 a month.
So, service must be slow then.
No, it's not slow because
Mine is slow.
They can't slow it. Once you have the fast, what do you call it, modem, they can't slow it down. They can't control the speed of it. It's the speed of your modem, what your modem can take.
Let me tell you, there's ways around that.
Yeah, of course.
The company,
there are ways around it.
There
are ways around it. That's what I'm saying. So I have under I'm not promoting anybody. Spectrum, I'm not promoting, but that's what I have. So I have a 3-year deal. So this is the second year of the 3-year deal, and they'll go, after that we're going to change the services. And we go, you're going to charge more? And they go, probably. And I go, okay, then if you're not going to keep it at that price, I guess I'm going to have to go with other internet service, maybe Amazon.
Right, you got to threaten them, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. Amazon is putting up its satellites, in which you'll probably get internet from them, and they probably want to give it to you for free because they know that once you have internet service for free, you're going to continue to purchase from them.
Yeah.
Like I've purchased a lot online. I don't even purchase on the stores because they're nuts. It's too cold to even go out. Right now, what degrees is it? Like 36?
36. And
during the winter and Thanksgiving and all that stuff, what was it like? The coldest was 22.
Not only that, you go to the store, they don't have it in stock.
They tell you go online.
Go online. So why do you have a store open for then?
Yeah, close the store down.
Remember J&R?
Yes.
The last couple of weeks in J&R, we don't have it. Go to an online store. And you have something for $30. Well, yes. When I go online, anybody cheaper? Hey, Amazon, 25 free shipping. That's what killed JR.
Yeah. Well, I remember I saw J&R. They were taking down their buildings, and then they said, we'll be back. We're going to renovate these buildings. And then eventually they figured out that they're not going to make any more money. So they said, let's sell the property, get out of the business. We'll probably get $30 million per block or whatever. And it's like, okay, the end deal will be $100 million or whatever. And it's like, okay, we're gone. We're done. Knock these buildings down. Even my neighborhood, they're knocking down buildings. And they're not even building high rises. They're building placeholders. So there's the stores that used to be there in my neighborhood, they knocked down a whole front street. That's like more than 100 feet. That's maybe like 200 feet by by 50. More than 200 feet by 50. So it's probably going to be a placeholder of storage buildings.
Now, funny that he's talking about all about that, because that's actually a lead-in for a movie that Ed Norton and Bruce Willis did called Motherless Brooklyn. It came and went. If you're into film noir, that's one of my highlights for the week. Film noir, where he plays like a guy with an affliction. He keeps on, fucking, you know, he just twitches and mouths up, which is pretty funny. But I thought the movie's on mark. It's basically Chinatown with Jack Nicholson meets L.A. Confidential with Kevin Spacey and Guy Pearce. So that's up there. And Alex Baldwin does a great job of imitating one of those guys, well, almost like Trump, that, you know, they take this property and they say they're going to do something with it.
Alex Baldwin, right?
Right. And they say they're going to do something with it, and they just turn it around and say, well, it's good for the neighborhood. No, it's good for their pockets.
Yeah, that's Moses. That was Robert Moses.
Right.
It's sort of like their interpretation of Robert Moses. He was the person responsible for the Dodgers leaving Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They have an interview, if you want to check it out, where he's there, the owner of the Dodgers, and they're having this interview show, and so Robert Moses said, "Oh, so we don't give you this for you could build your stadium. You're gonna leave? Well, then go ahead."
Yeah.
And you know what the guy said? Okay. And he went to Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles they didn't have anything. They were starting because it's a desert, right? Los Angeles in reality,
back that time,
Los Angeles in reality is a desert. All those states, Texas, Phoenix, they're all deserts. They have no water. So when the Dodgers came knocking, they said we need land for our baseball team, and they go, all right, go ahead, because we have nothing. Bend over backwards, open up this big stadium. We'll pay for it. Carte blanche. We don't have anything.
That was one of the themes of Chinatown, was showing Jack Nicholson about water.
Yes, about water.
So
and they're still now having water problems. Because, hello, folks, it's a desert.
There you go. Okay, next.
Yes, sir.
What we got here?
But you love that movie, right? And you think Ed Norton's great?
Yeah, I really thought. I think it's one of the better movies. I would say
not Hulk, but this.
Yeah, but I would say one thing about the Oscars. We're not going to be talking about it because there's nothing out there. Okay.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh, talk about a one. And you know, I'm not a Kristen Stewart fan. I think she's overrated as an actress. I don't know how she pulled it off. She actually saved the movie. She was the highlight of the movie. And Charlie's Angels, yeah.
I'm shocked.
Enough with reboots. We don't care about Angels, okay? We don't care about
reboots,
Charlie.
Reboots are always going to happen. Reboots are always going to look, like we're saying, we say it a million times.
Yeah.
You take a Western film, you put some space aspects from futurism in it, and it's really a reboot. It's a rehash.
Rather Wagon to the Train.
Look,
the Wagon Train is basically a Wagon Train in the stars. I was a Western back in CBS back in the 50s. That's the only way Roddenberry could sell Star Trek.
Right. And same thing what we were saying before with Mashuvi, Kurosawa. You take samurai films and boom, they're westerns. So what is that? That's a reboot.
Another movie,
pretty good.
Yeah, another movie.
It's a retelling. It's what we do in life.
Yeah,
architecture's like that.
Remember, there's only 7 stories to tell in cinema. That's the trademark.
Yeah.
Now here's
samurai films.
Here's another movie. I forgot. I should have titled it with the Torah. It was called Midway. Roland Emmerich. He was good doing Mel Gibson and The Patriot, historical drama about the Revolution in America. Well, he did Midway, which is, we got bombed in Tora Tora December 7th. About 2 years later in the war, we had a big confrontation in the South Pacific with Japan, and basically they took out the Arizona and a bunch of other ships. We went in there in Midway, and we wiped out their aircraft carriers, to the point where a lot of the pilots couldn't land anywhere. They all got dumped in the ocean because they ran out of fuel and there was no aircraft carrier. The reason, another Star Wars connection, is, Lucas and Spielberg, the big World War II buffs, okay? Spielberg is really into Germany and...
the 30s. 30s movies, stuff that Zorro.
Yeah, the serial black and white.
Yes,
right.
Things that cliffhangers, which were amazing. We loved them. The cliffhangers, that's where we got Indiana Jones.
Right.
And all the other type of cliffhanger type, they even did that in Star Wars with Empire Strikes Back with the cliffhangers. Oh, tune in. What's going to happen
Right.
in the next movie? It was great.
Spielberg was into Japan. I mean, Germany. Lucas was into the Japan thing. Well, too. As a matter of fact, there's a couple scenes in Midway that Will and Emmerich was paying tribute. How these planes will attack the aircraft carriers, and you look at the end of New Hope when Luke used the Force, and then he concentrates on just trying to get that one shot, and blow up the Death Star. That was a particular World War II pilot technique to drop a bomb right on top of the aircraft carrier. There was a certain point they knew they had to zero in on an aircraft carrier. Meantime, he's dive bombing and getting right into things, practically committing suicide, and these things are shooting off at him, and he just, particular point, dropped the bomb, and boom, the whole top of the aircraft carrier blow up. Midway is another film I recommend 4 out of 5. What was the problem with the movie? The only problem was it concentrated on one particular section of the pilots. That was American, and there was like Canadian and English. Like there was a movie called Midway, 1976, with Charlton Heston, Robert Mitchum, Henry Fonda, all the good stars from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and basically they showed the attack of the islands only because they didn't have the special effects. Over here, it doesn't concentrate on the fighting of the islands and the runways and everything, because that's where all the ammunition and oil reserve for the pilots and aircraft carriers. So basically, Will and Emmerich showed this one particular force, one squadron, should I say, that they actually concentrated on this group that they show you how they attack the aircraft carriers. Midway, 4 out of 5. Motherless Brooklyn, 4 out of 5. Charlie's Angels, 1. Should get a 0, but Kristen Stewart actually saved the thing. Okay, another one about history, Harriet. But what's her name, Tubman?
Right.
There was a movie, somebody said it looked like a Lifetime Channel movie, okay? But it was done with Cicely Tyson. She was really great in the 70s. She did a movie called Sounder. Okay, you have to look this up. We can't follow this or we'll be here for 3 hours. But anyway, it's called Sounder. Paul Winfield. Who? Come on. Arms wide open. Remember that Star Trek episode? Picard and the Damon guy? Yeah. Arms wide open. That was Paul Winfield. As a matter of fact, Paul Winfield was the guy, and Rata Khan, I can't do it, sorry, Captain, and he kills himself. And of course, Chekhov goes on the side and the thing comes out of the air. So, anyway, Paul Winfield, Cicely Tyson, and they did a movie called Sanders. Cicely Tyson did a movie called Harriet, by Harriet Tubman. This version was a little bit melodramatic. I hate to say it, but because they were talking about Oscar talk. Again, there's really no picture there for Oscar.
I think they're saying Joker?
For acting, but right now I'm talking about Best Picture.
Oh.
Okay. But we'll get to that acting because we got. I know me and him, we got a couple here. Okay.
Right.
Ford and Ferrari. Okay, about the two guys in racing. If you like racing, you like the movie. 2 great performances by Matt Damon, Christian Bale. Again, they're talking Oscar. Okay. I forget the actress name. Forgive me. Who played Harriet? She was good. The movie did not meet expectations as far as history goes. Ford and Ferrari, yes. Now, as far as Best Pictures, I'm going down the list here. There's nothing here, folks. I mean, Oscars around the corner.
That doesn't really matter. They'll just give an Oscar to anything.
Well, that's what's going to happen. That's why you mentioned Joker. They're going to push it because they need the fan base to get the ratings because the last couple of Oscars shows have been going downhill.
Well, it's because the Oscars have always been like that. The Oscars they always want to give it to something that someone pushes to get the Oscar. It's not really about the best film.
Yeah, that's true. But look at one, the fish in the water.
Yeah, Casablanca never won an Oscar.
There's a lot of people that never won the Oscar.
They were good.
Saving Private Ryan didn't win an Oscar. And Shakespeare in Love did.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
But
we know what's up.
But anyway, if I was going to ask, they're going to try to push like the Joker. Mm-hmm. Okay, you agreed. I think we both agreed the picture sucks, but he had a good performance.
Yeah, he was okay, but
I thought he was really good method actor.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He was a good method actor, but the thing is, I didn't feel it was a Joker film.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was sort of like it was a movie about anarchy and mental illness, and they tried to combine it. It was almost like Taxi Driver with the like what we were saying, Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy. That was basically what the movie was.
Right.
It was a rehash of 2 movies. You know how we say, oh, no more rehashing. Rehash Taxi Driver. He was an anarchist, and rehashing the king of comedy, who was another anarchist.
Right.
And they said, "Oh, this movie is 100% original." I'm like, "No, it's not." And when the Joker, spoiler, shoots the commentator, it was De Niro in the head, that's completely stolen from the Return of the Dark Knight, the comic book, and then they made it animated where he in the comic book actually kills the talk show host.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh, this is 100% original." No, it's not. And it's not even a Joker movie. It's a rehash of all these movies. And guess what? Now they could do that from now on. They'll just rehash stuff and they'll throw a villain in it and say, "You see, that's his origins." No, it's not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about best actors? Well, okay. Actors. As far as movies, Dead in the Water. I want to get this out of the way because we have 3 episodes left for the year, and we're going to go straight into Star Wars. So let me get this Oscar thing out of the way. Irishman.
Yes, I saw it.
What do you think?
It was a good Netflix movie, but it wasn't Martin Scorsese's best. It's sort of like it's a tribute movie to himself, which is nice, and I enjoyed it as that. But I didn't enjoy it as much as his Goodfellas, when you really felt there was an edge there, or his Casino, which was there. Like his Taxi Driver, his King of Comedy.
Mean Streets, yeah.
Oh no, Mean Street didn't like it that much.
I liked it.
But I'm saying, out of those other films, those are the culmination, because in Mean Street was his first movie. He was testing out the waters. And then when he saw I can get away with this, then he went all in on Taxi Driver, all in on the King of Comedy. That was really gory kind of, and all in on Goodfellas, which was really gory, which is great, and Casino, which is excellent, gory too. Right. But he was.
I like Irishman only because I was looking to see all the actors get back together again. Okay, De Niro and Pacino, overdue. The one who really stole the show was Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, yeah, I heard that a lot.
Yeah, he was really great.
Of course, because we always loved Joe Pesci. We always wanted to see him come back, but he retired, and he knows that they don't want to make his type of movie anymore, so he's not going to bother with Hollywood anymore.
Right. I mean,
he's become like Alec Guinness. Like, what am I going to do? Be in Star Wars? I don't want to do that. So then he decided, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, well, his agent talked him into it because they gave him a cut of the action. But
that's good.
But I had to do with money. But okay, here's the big thing. We're talking about like special effects and everything. What do you think about the aging process? Remember, the movie costs a lot. Oh, by the way, I looked a bit. It was on Variety magazine this morning, and they said that the movie had 17 million views for Netflix. The top 2 was El Camino, the sequel to Breaking Bad, and Bird in the Box, or Bird Box, the one with
Bird Box,
with Sandra, what's her name?
Bullock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those 2 movies had 25 million viewers. And an opening day that same weekend.
And it's dropping off, right?
Goodfellas.
Like, for example,
Goodfellas, not the Goodfellas. Irishman did open up to 17 million.
That's what I'm saying. It's dropping off. We're saying that Sandra Bullock was the highest, right? And then El Camino's second, right?
Right.
And then the Irishman.
The Irish is still, and Irishman is still in the top 10. Don't forget.
That's what I'm saying. Those 3 movies. Those 3 movies. Those were the 3 movies that had a lot of buzz on it. Bird Box.
Will Smith is in there also.
Well, no, Bird Box had a lot of buzz, I think, because you connect it, you sync it like a detective. You see, Bird Box had a lot of, because it was ripping off a lot from The Quiet Place, and The Quiet Place did big, and when the Netflix came out, like, this is going to be as great as The Quiet Place, and everybody ran to see it, and they were like, oh really? Okay. And then they did El Camino. Oh my God, this is the continuation of Breaking Bad. And when people went to see it, and like, okay.
That Breaking Bad was good though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I like
Breaking Bad was great, but El Camino
was just as good. Some people got disappointed.
Some people got disappointed. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You and I, we can disagree on that, or we can agree on that.
Right.
I was like, Breaking Bad, they're trying to capture, what do you call it, magic in a bottle, and you can't.
Sometimes you can't, but I think they did a pretty good job pulling it off.
Right. And The Irishman was the same thing. It was like, oh my God, there were Goodfellas, El Casino, and that's why I guess it's kind of dropping off. And eventually people are going to catch on, and they're going to be okay. It's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter. People tune in the first 15, 20 minutes or something. They don't like it. They'll turn off. Not like when you're stuck in the theater. You're stuck there for like freaking 2 hours. I'm sitting here watching a piece of crap.
That I paid for. I paid $18 or $20 or what is it? $22 now?
Anywhere from 15 to 22.
Yeah, I tried to see what do you call that? Terminator on opening day, and I couldn't because they pushed it away from matinee because they didn't want me to pay $8, $9. They wanted me to pay full price.
Right.
And then eventually I was able to get it to matinee. I had to go far away to see it. And otherwise, it wasn't happening.
Before we go back into Irishman, I reviewed Terminator. I think that's the end of the franchise. No more. Been done.
Yeah, I've seen Terminator 2.
And what's your review? What do you think?
Yeah.
Because you didn't review it. You get a chance to review it.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I don't see any high expectations with them going. It almost seems like it was a reboot of the second movie.
Basically.
It was like a rehash of the second movie, and I think we can one day speak about this on a longer show if we want to do this and break it down. And we could.
When the DVD comes out, we'll do that.
Yeah, I'll be like, the Terminator was ruined. The second one was ruined because the first one was great. It was basic guerrilla tactics.
Right.
It was in Hollywood. And then when they went Terminator 2, it became too Hollywood.
Right.
They immense budget, special effects, lighting, immersive stories, culminating to a big crescendo. And once you did the big crescendo, like Daffy Duck used to be in Looney Tunes, he did this big thing where he killed himself for the big crescendo, and Bugs would be like, "That's great, do it again." I can't. Once I do it, I can't do it again. And that's where they ruined Terminator. Once they did that big crescendo, you can never replicate that. Right. The third one that they did, I enjoyed it, the third Terminator movie.
It was fun, but...
It was fun because if they would continue that line, like, you can't stop the end of the world. You could only... you can't prevent it. You could only, slow it down. But it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Right. And
if they would have continued like that, that would have been beautiful.
This one, they just changed the whole timeline.
Yep. They're like, oh, forget that.
Yeah, forget that. Screw the canon.
Yeah.
Like they're doing with Skywalker. But hold on, we'll get to that. So let's go back to Irishman as far as special effects. Do you think that thing took you out of the movie when you saw like Pesci is like 150 years old and all of a sudden he's a young, hey, forget about it, 40 years old? Did that affect you whatsoever in the movie?
No.
Because everybody, there was a lot of complaints when that came out. People said, oh, see, it's taking away from the movie. No, I think it's adding to it. Okay, if they get the technology down packed, it wouldn't have cost so much. Irishman is a big hit. Unfortunately, it cost so much, Netflix has to balance the book, so to speak.
Wow, I don't know how they're able to do that. It's sort of like we were saying with all these services that want to make these beautiful movies like Star Trek. When they put Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine on television, it was costing them so much money that they couldn't continue it, that they would blow the budget on a crescendo, where they said, we have to cancel the show. Why? It's going great. People love it. Well, we can't afford it anymore. So for the last episode on Next Generation, you're going to fight in the dirt with your brother.
Right, the episode following the Borg.
Yeah. Can they continue these in streaming service? That's why I was leading up to that. It's like Bird Box, the highest viewers, then the second highest, El Camino, then the third highest coming down on The Irishman. That means that it's dropping off.
No, there's a lot of the viewers didn't want to know about anything about the Mafia or Jimmy Hoffa. It wasn't a really great story because the Hoffa movie, which was done with Jack Nicholson, basically told the story except what happened at the very end.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's dropping off in terms of excitement.
Not as viewers.
And the money eventually isn't going to be there anymore. I'm just saying. The money's not going to be there.
They got deep pockets because the big studios, they don't get it. Even Disney was stuck with Skywalker. They don't get it. You're spending all this money doing the third act because nobody was asking for Palpatine in any way. So then you're spending more money, and then what's going to happen? The audience is going to have a great opening weekend, and then the second weekend is going to drop. The thing with Netflix and they're spending over $200 million or $300 million on Lord of the Rings series, believe it or not, is because they're getting the money right back as far as binging. With like Star Trek, they had to stop it because the salaries were going up. They stopped it because, listen, we got 7 years worth of material. we can go into syndication. This is what happened with Big Bang. The stars only got paid maybe $100,000 an episode. They went in syndication, and it was a whole shitload of money for them to for syndication repeats on TBS and TNT or whatever the repeat syndication channels were. And the stars said, "Hey, wait a second! You're making extra gravy money on the repeats, and that was not in our contract." So the next season they got renewed. Okay, we want $1 million each, and they got away with it because syndication. The Star Trek episode at that particular time, they had to stop and said, we're breaking even over here. We're not losing money, but we can't continue this. I said, well, put it in syndication. The repeats, we're going to get money, including the actors. The actors said, 7 seasons, it's over. Yay! It's like a 401k. Yay! I'm going to collect a check every month from a repeat of Star Trek, because Star Trek syndication is being repeated somewhere all over this planet. Some country, some channel, and that's a royalty check. So with Irishman, because I had to follow this on Netflix, Hollywood Reporter and Variety, because it gets a little bit complicated how they do the budgeting and the finance. And basically is, with movies, they have to wait. If it breaks even, Terminator is not breaking even, they're losing money. But they figured they could sell it to some cable channels. Hopefully the people that did not go see it will catch up eventually. But that money is coming in slowly from syndication, from repeats, from being on cable. It will premiere on HBO, then eventually it will wind up on Hulu somewhere. Or if the picture really sucked, they put in that movie and a bunch of other movies, sell it to Voodoo as a package. That money is coming in slowly though, okay? Eventually we'll break even, but it'll take a year or two. Studios need that money now so they can make another movie, whether it's Terminator 5, 6, 7, 8, or something else. With streaming was happening, even though one movie made 25, was seen by 25 million and the other one seen by 17, they got the money right there in the spot. They proved the viewership is there, yeah. 17 million equals about 150 million. 25 million budget-wise means that El Camino, for being basically a TV movie of the week, and a continuation of a syndicated show, made about $150, $200 million in profit. Okay, and so people say, well, Irishman, it's not going to make that much of a profit, only because it costs so damn much. So the people who did the Joker made a movie for only $40 million, and they're walking away with $1 billion.
Yes. But that's what.
Where was I when they pulled the arm and the slot machine and all the coins came out? You know what I'm saying?
Where were you?
Yeah, where the hell was I? Should have been a producer on that thing, But I mean, that's the way streaming works.
You would have to make your own in order to gain a little profit. But this is Hollywood 101. If you put the money in to make a movie like that, you could. It'd probably cost you somewhere, let's say, like under the Rodriguez School of Filmmaking, right? He would say it would cost you anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000 to make one of his movies.
Right.
But then when you go to sell it, they'll give you like $1 million for it. And then when they blow it up into the theaters, who knows? They could probably make $20 million. If it's really good, like The Joker, maybe they'll make all that movie money, but you won't see a dime of it. Like James Cameron, he didn't see that much money when they did The Terminator.
Right.
Or when he made Aliens, Fox tried to scam him and say, "Oh, we didn't make any money."
Right.
He said, "Aliens didn't make any money." Nope, didn't make any money. Aliens 1, did they make any money? Nope, didn't make any money. You're not getting anything.
Yeah.
And Aliens 2, and then he had to sue them in order to get.
Yeah, really, Scott had to turn around and sue them too. Yeah.
And then he tried to make money on the Titanic. He saw that he was going over budget, and he was afraid, so he gave back his money. And when he made a lot of money, they turned around. They didn't give him anything. They said, "Well, you gave us some money back, sucker. What about sharing with me?" Nope. And he was like, "Okay, fine. We won't ever work again."
No, but he did get a profit share. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
So that's
because he gave his money back and.
Okay, I mean, that's a lot of boring business behind the scenes.
Yeah, but this is what's going to happen.
But this is what's happening to Hollywood because of all this bullshit, all this squandering with money. I mean, let's do superheroes, let's do a blockbuster and stuff like that. All the actors, all the top actors are going to cable, basically, streaming. It's not even cable anymore, it's streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not big on streaming. I love streaming.
No, I love streaming. I watch it, but I'm buying the, the physical media, because I want to buy the movies that I want to see and try to find those good movies, like a Schwarzenegger film, try to find a Rambo film, try to find a Jean-Claude Van Damme film, movies that were like action film,
right.
Terminator, the original one, or, the Schwarzenegger Predator. they're hard to find. Running Man, you have to, if you want to see them on streaming, it's not free. They want you to pay for those. They'll give you some other movies under the streaming plan, but if you want to see that one, you're going to have to pay $9 just to see it.
Well, eventually that's going to die out because once the physical is gone, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to pay.
You have to pay, or eventually it will come like with a package and stuff. That's the physical sense. Like this here, this was cute because this had Blu-ray and it came up with a little booklet and everything like that about the making of. All that is going to disappear. I mean, Disney started doing it.
Because you make more money. It's sort of like if you continue to, what do you call that, hook up to someone's wallet, it's going to continue to generate the money. But since I've gotten to the point where, you know, right now I'm paying $9 a month for streaming with Netflix, and their content is dwindling. What am I going to do? Am I going to continue? And when they want to rise to like $20, am I going to pay $20? Can I afford that?
That's the
My
thing.
rent's going up.
It's not whether,
Everything's going up.
It's not whether you can afford it or not. It's how much you want it. Disney was smart by putting streaming for only $6.99. Now, I know 75% of the content we saw already growing up with it. But now it's going to force them to do stuff like Mandalorian and going in the right direction.
But then that goes into different Disney channels. They go into more expensive. They're smart. Because you have Disney Plus, that you're paying $6. You're not going to get all the content. Because if you want all the content, you buy Disney Plus Plus, which is like $15. And then if you want even more of the original content is Disney Plus.
Well, apparently that's where all the bonus features are going to be doing. Yeah, but
they're smart.
But
you get a little taste. It's like they say in Hollywood. It's like a little bit like this. You get a little taste.
Yeah.
And if you want a little more, this first one's free. You want a little more, you got to pay for it.
No, they expect you to get hooked up.
Yeah.
You get hooked on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Yeah, it's like a Jedi mind trick, and it will not work with me.
Yeah.
My Jedi mind trick is too strong.
My thing is that if the content is worth it, then I will go for it. I don't mind paying for it. I mean, if all the content of your audio commentary, the booklet can be condensed and as a slideshow, if they can do that, I think it's worth it because you save the trees, it saves the paperwork, save the trees, save the plastic of making these damn things, and I got more space on my shelves. If you have somebody who lives in the city,
that's what killed a lot of printed media.
Half the media is going to disappear in a couple years. Gone. Okay, so. But anyway.
Okay, going back.
Let's go. Okay, so you had no problem with the Irishman as far as the special effects?
No.
Okay.
Even though I saw when De Niro was beating somebody up, you know, he was like holding his arms up.
Right.
Because then that's when you could tell, he's like 70 going towards 80.
Yeah.
So he can't hold himself, you know,
properly.
Balance,
right.
So you could tell. On that part, you could tell when he got physical. You could tell
the physical aspect. Well,
yes.
But
aside from that,
the
way they did it was brilliant. They should have used a body double.
A body double, that particular time. Just so I mean, the editing would take care of it. That you can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, and they want to eventually do that in movies. Just put in like Humphrey Bogart.
No,
he passed away.
That's
what they plan to do. Humphrey Bogart, James Dean, John Wayne, all the big ones.
They did that with John Wayne in a commercial, and people were pissed off.
They did that with Bruce Lee in a commercial.
Yeah. Pissed off. People didn't want it. Now they're doing it with James Dean, and people are like, oh, that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
You got to go to classic actors because the new generation, they're not looking for classic actors. You know, all the classic actors go on stage, on Broadway. Yes. The new actors, they got charisma. Boom, The Rock, charisma. We don't care if he can act or not. Just put him out there. Yeah. Okay, last movie, Aeronauts. Okay, it came out this weekend, December 7th. And Sandy Kenyon, the ABC critic, he did the review this morning. I agree with 100%. So
what are you saying? It was great?
The special effects sequences when they're up in the balloon, fantastic. Lots of action. What's going to happen next, you know? And then all of a sudden, the movie starts with them taking off in the balloon, and how they got into the balloon and how they're going to the journey. They go in flashbacks. Too many flashbacks. I always said it's not good. What happened to go in flashback, how they got to meet, how they get the money, who getting the support to help them to buy the balloon. Okay, and then all of a sudden there's a fallout because of the money, and are these two attracted to each other? Maybe you don't know. The movie gets grounded all by its flashbacks. But once the story's up in the air, accent, and the photography and the camera work and sci-fi was really top money. I give this a 3 out of 5. for the action sequences, wait for Netflix or whatever personal streaming service you like. Okay, there we go. All right. What are we done with everything else? Okay.
Jay and Silent Bob, you wanted to mention?
Thank you. That's the last one. Oh, one more. Knives. No.
Knives Out. Knives Out.
Knives Out. Okay. You don't want to see it because of Ryan Johnson, right?
Right, because I think Knives Out, I think it's Ryan Johnson is a real, he tries to be like M. Night Shyamalan. I've seen some of his movies. I've seen Looper.
Right.
And it's like he tries to have a twist.
Yeah.
I also saw the movie where he had these, and it was on Netflix, where they're kids in high school and they speak a certain slang from the 30s, and that was his twist, to have them all speak in a certain weird dialect.
Right.
And I thought that was just, hey, it's sort of like he's just trying to put, like a hook.
Right.
He sort of become a hook type writer, director.
That's why he screwed up Last Jedi. He was trying to put all these little twists and hooks. And I said,
I don't like that.
No way, your parents were alcoholics and they just gave you away. You're going, what? That came out of nowhere. It didn't even fit the canon, okay? And of course, Ryan Johnson, I know a lot of people blame him, but he did get the memo from Kathleen Kennedy. We'll get to that in about 5 minutes, okay? Knives Out, I did like it because it reminded me of the old movies like Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah,
the problem,
but that's the basis he writes on, like I said.
Right.
If you see, he does that in Looper, and he does that in that...
it's a whodunit, right?
Right, and he does that in that high school movie I was talking about, where this high school kid that's played by Goran Levin.
Right.
He plays a high school that his girlfriend dies, and they try to find how it happens. He plays a detective, a high school detective. He's like 18, 19. In reality, it was 2022. And they all speak in this fast slang type speak. Like this speak I never heard of, and that's part of their hook. And then the other hook is at the end, like, oh, it's a twist. Okay, I'm not interested.
Right. This one, well, I can't really say anything about the whodunit. I liked Daniel Craig played a great Southern accent detective. I thought he was really top of his game because we were so used to him being English James Bond. So he was good. The whole supporting cast was great. There was one problem. I can't mention any of the actors because that's the twist. But in the first 5 minutes, I went, you put this actor in this role, and what
and you know why you put him in
giveaway. Oh, Jesus. You knew right there in the first 15 minutes who did it.
Yeah, but he did that because he wants people to go see the movie. Daniel Craig, oh my goodness, James Bond's going to be in it? Or he puts this guy, oh my goodness, that guy. And that was his fan service. For you can want to see. If he didn't put those people in the film, probably no one would want to be interested in seeing it in the first place.
The girl from Halloween,
Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson.
Nats Bridges, of course.
Miami Vice,
Miami Vice, Captain America, of course. And a couple other names, but in the first 15 minutes, you know who did it. I mean, I recommend if you like.
You mean it becomes like a Columbo type TV show?
Yeah, if you like that, I give it a 3 out of 5. The one movie we both, we love these characters. The one movie he didn't get a chance.
Jay and Silent Bob.
The reboot. Yeah, I love the movie. The first half is good, but then they get sentimental by Jay and his daughter at the last half hour, and the movie just plain sinks. Doesn't matter. These two characters came back, and Kevin Smith really goofs on himself because he's Silent Bob. He's not Kevin Smith. So Jay and Silent Bob with Jason Lee and say, hey guys, man, here's a comic book about you guys are getting a reboot, and of course Jay say, no way, man, and of course Silent Bob's like really, So, I mean, the actors are really on point. It's really funny. And there's a part right in the beginning it said, oh, you know what's a difference between a reboot and a remake and a rehash? And Jason Liz is great. Have you, like us, complaining about rehash, remakes, reboots?
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I hate all
you
this
hate
crap.
that. But I'm just saying it all comes from somewhere. No one comes up with something out of thin air. Everything is a reboot, rehash, remake. Everything.
But
there's always beautiful nuances on nuances of something. Go for it.
But he mentions this once. What is a guy wearing a black mask who builds a big, huge cannon and destroys planets, right? What movie is that? Star Wars? No, The Force Awakens. That's the way Jason Lee does it in the movie. Point on, and it was hysterical. Audience was clapping in that scene.
I am surprised because I mentioned that a long time ago. When Force Awakens came out, I was one of the first voices to say, that is nothing more than a remake of A New Hope. And then I compared it to, what was it, Spaceballs, where they goofed on themselves, where they goofed all over the New Hope movie.
Right.
And everybody's like, why are you making this movie? This movie is terrible. And I goofed. I said, look, if anything, Force Awakens is the serious version of Spaceballs.
Basically.
Yeah, because Spaceballs like, oh, why are you wearing that stupid helmet? And then all of a sudden, what do you call that? The second Star Wars movie with Ryan Johnson.
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Why are you wearing that stupid helmet?
Right.
And it's like, you just go, oh my God, they're so big. And they were goofing on themselves, saying all these stupid things. And eventually they were goofing on it. It's like, but also then we're going to blow up, what do you call that? The Death Star.
Right.
And he goes, no, it's bigger. I was like,
yeah.
What the hell?
The punchline.
Yeah.
Trivia. Everybody remembers Spaceballs. Remember they're in the desert? And that guy said, have you found anything? And the guy has a big comb and he's brushing the desert. And he turns around, we haven't found shit. That's Tuvok.
We're combing. Yeah, they're using this big comb and says, yeah, we're combing the desert now.
Combing the desert. We haven't found shit. That is Tuvok. I forgot the actor's name. Tuvok from the last, from the Voyager.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, I hate to say that was one of the most hateful characters. Everybody hated that character.
Sorry to say that. Tim Ross, that's his name, Tim Ross.
Yeah, and then he had that relationship with this half-female character, and even at one point or another, she loved him in the beginning of the first season, and like during the seasons as it's going closing out, she's like, I really don't like this person. I'm trying to distance myself. Mm-hmm. And then even when she found out that he was an unpopular character, she was trying to distance herself from him, and then she was trying to get in a relationship with other people.
Well, are you talking about the guy who dressed like a clown?
No, Tuvok. Remember Tuvok?
He was the Vulcan.
No. Oh. I thought you were talking about the Voyager.
Yeah, Tuvok, the black Vulcan.
Oh, the black one. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the
alien, with the
alien.
clown makeup. Right.
Yes.
Right.
I confused them.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Talk about Voyager. Let's not forget. You were saying about the rehash and everything like that. The most obvious one is
Endgame.
The Avengers Endgame is basically from Voyager.
Endgame, the final Voyager. And
the final episode.
And I saw that from
time travel.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
Time travel, and the title is called Endgame. I mean, how obvious can we get? Yeah. But Jay and Silent Bob, I definitely recommend. It was no studio support. Came in on Friday. It was gone by Sunday.
Yes,
it was unbelievable.
I wanted to see it. I couldn't see it because you had to see it at a certain time because they were presenting a movie. It was sort of like that Tommy Wiseau, The Room.
Right.
That you have to see it when he's showing it to you. If you're not there in that theater to see it when he's showing it to you,
right,
it's gone. It's one day. It's like one day in Manhattan, one day in Queens, one day in Brooklyn. If you don't get to see one of those days, that's it.
Yeah, well, he does like a circuit kind of thing where he
yes.
kind of teaches the filmmakers. See, if I can do it, you can do it. Kind of.
Yeah, it's
you can do
sort of
Kind
smart.
of thing.
It's sort of smart. He kind of took that thing from the comic book convention type of role.
Okay, let's. We're gonna start wrapping up now.
Yes.
Let's go back a little bit. So, Mandalorian, you haven't seen it, but you've.
I'm not interested. Not interested.
Okay, that's why I brought this magazine. As far as this is connected to this here, okay? Yeah. Yoda is basically, it's not Yoda. They call it Baby Yoda, but it's part of his species.
They call it the kid or something.
The kid, right. And Jon Favreau said, well, let's go back, like, they did a trilogy on Darth Vader, how he became Darth Vader. Okay, let's do something different. Yoda had to come from some kind of species. Let's concentrate on that. Let me go rip off Lone Wolf and Cub from the manga. Okay. Let me introduce a character who looks like Yoda, right?
And the character looks like Boba Fett.
And Boba Fett. There you go. Like you said, fan service. I want to say that. I'm tired of the Skywalker thing. Now, there's one person. If you want to know,
Darth Vader is the best fan service out there. That's why people love Rogue One when Darth Vader shows up.
Right.
Fan service. That's what I loved.
Now, there's a couple guys doing a lot of spoilers. This is up to you, because I'm going to follow up on the spoilers without not really giving you any spoilers. When Skywalker comes out, we pretty much know what's going on. The 3 different movies have been made, okay?
Yep. And we were saying how they should show them all on the theaters. So when you go see a screening, you don't know which one you're watching.
Well, supposedly, okay, this is rumor. I'm going to mention it, this gentleman's name. I think he's hysterical. He's funny. They know he exists, and they're kind of pissed off at him. His name is Overlord DVD on YouTube. Okay, I subscribe myself. I'm a subscriber, should I say? And what you call it? He gets a lot of inside information on what's going on. Kathleen Kennedy's contract is going to be up next year. Doesn't look like she's going to get rehired. They just wanted to get this out there in the can because they want Kevin Feige to take over for the new trilogy. Rian Johnson hanging up in the air. John Favreau is going to continue with this here.
Yeah, and I heard they're going to do, they're finally going to do, what do you call that? Ben-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? With the original actor, Ewan McGregor.
Yes,
I think
that's
is
great.
Perfect. It's going to be like a mini-series.
Yeah,
like
Disney Plus.
Right. I think that is the way to go.
Yes.
I think everybody learned the lesson with Han Solo.
Right.
The actor was good. The material was lousy, and it was not Ron Howard's fault.
I think
it wasn't.
I think that what they ruined was they give you too much information. I don't want to know. It's like the origin stories. When you say, how many times I have to hear this origin story? Or when someone opens up, you want to hear my origin stories? And you're like, no, not really.
Yeah, the Batman. How many times you got to tell that?
Yeah. Or Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, exactly. Just
Wolverine.
Yeah.
They keep doing it.
Well, they're going to do
a reboot.
They got to do a thing on Wolverine because that way he can fit in the X-Men universe. That way they can stick it back in the MCU universe along with Fantastic Four. I can see that. There's a purpose for that.
Why do they have to do that, especially with Wolverine? Why is it just like, okay, this is a guy who have metal claws. Just say, hey, he's an exoskeleton human being, and that's it. And then continue with the movie.
Because Wolverine is worth, the title Wolverine is worth $100 million in toy and T-shirt merchandise.
They didn't do it when they do it with Hugh Jackman in the last Old Man Logan. Logan, they didn't do that. They didn't give you the origin story.
Well, Logan was the last one. It was his death, so there was no reason to do the origin. They were finishing off with the character. So
I don't want to hear any more Logan. If you want to see it, rent the DVD or watch it on streaming.
They're going to redo Logan because that way he can fit into the X-Men universe. The new crew. But anyway,
you want to say anything about Rick and Morty or?
Have you seen that? It just premiered in September. I haven't got. November. We both love Rick and Morty. That's one thing we can agree on. We never disagree on Rick and Morty. You know those Funko Pop toys, those little squishy things.
Yes.
They got one of him. Is it Rick? Yeah, Rick is him as the pickle, which I got to put in my collection. I didn't. So, what do you think about the new season? And it's still on track. It's still got the raunchy comedy sense of humor.
Let me see. The first episode, I enjoyed the first episode. Let me see if I remember the second episode.
I think Old Man in the Sea. I think it's the second episode.
Yeah, with him and fighting over a toilet. That was okay. But the one I really enjoyed was the third episode where they sort of bashed a genre of heist movies.
Oh, okay.
Where they made fun of Ocean's 11.
Oh, that's
and
good.
Ocean 12 and Ocean 13, and I loved that. I think they're at their best when they take down genres and say, oh, this is a trope that's been done so often, but let's bash it and show you and give you a quick course on why this is bad. And I thought that was one of the best episodes of the 3 seasons. One was good because it was sort of like an Akira type of episode. Number 2 was, it was about Rick and him fighting over a guy in the toilet and then not being friends, not being, I didn't like that. But the third one was amazing where they just bashed at a trope. Good.
That reminds me of Mandalorian. The whole thing with the baby really takes off on third episode where I'm not saying any spoilers because if you haven't seen it, you need to catch up, folks, okay?
Didn't they come up with another episode where now he is... what are they in the 4th episode? Was it the 4th episode now?
I saw the 4th episode where they meet another bounty hunter.
Right, that's the last episode, the 4th episode.
Right. Well, the one came out yesterday, which I haven't caught up on.
Okay,
but from 1 to 3 so far, Boba Fett basically is a bounty on a little baby Yoda. He gives in and says, something's not right here. And he goes, meets him, and then you see his clan, his tribe, going, that is the way. And he said, I think you guys are going to support me on this. He goes, gets baby Yoda, because he realized that the Empire is still behind it. If the Empire Strikes Back is no more, but there's still things going on where they want to clone baby Yoda. Anyway, he remembers that baby Yoda, in the second episode, they fight the Mudhorn, a big giant rhinoceros kind of looking thing, and baby Yoda does his little, moves him over, and actually picks up the Mudhorn and flips him. And Mandalorian goes, I remember that kid. So he said, listen, I owe the kid a favor. I traded him. I got my my money, so to speak. I said, you know what? I don't think this is going to be good what happened to baby Yoda. I owe him money. He gets the baby Yoda, big shootout, big fancy, boom, boom, boom. And I said, yo, dude, you're not supposed to do this. We made a bargain with bad guys. Screw the bad guys. This is the way. Pride, honor, tribe. Help me. They help him out. The big shootout. And at the end, they fly away with baby Yoda, and you see his tribe, they all go different directions. Excellent episode, and that's why I want to see the fall of Skywalker. Crap. There's 3 different endings. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Supposedly, they had a screening that the Millennium Falcon blows up with certain people on it, and people walked out of the screening. I said, wait a minute, you can't go. They're trying to stop people at the door. You can't go because you got gift cards. Screw your gift card. You just blew up the Falcon. Screw you. Okay. Another one. Hayden Christensen supposed to make a cameo. Delete. Another supposedly. This is rumors now. Okay, because we don't know what we're going to get. To be honest with you, the last one is they brought in George Lucas. He redid about 30 to 40 minutes. We're never going to see a minute of it because he brought in another Jedi in, the secret Jedi. He had to do something where Obi-Wan and Yoda in the swamp, and the lights go on. That kid is our last hope. No, there is another. And now it's supposed to be another Jedi out there. They're gonna make that connection. No, the only other Jedi is Rey, the female. Great feminist thing kicks in. Good going. Palpatine, he got thrown off, falls in the reactor, incinerated. On top of that, about 10 minutes later, the Death Star blows up. How the hell do you bring that back? He's there, I'm young Skywalker. I'm hooked up to the apparatus that keeps me alive forever. And then they got the strong force lightning kind of thing bullshit. I'm out. I'm over with this shit, okay? Oh, you're supposed to be a Star Wars fan. No, this is Star Wars. That, or should I say, that behind me, that is Star Wars. That is Skywalker crap. I believe it's Colin Trevorrow. If I'm saying his name right, he was the director of the remake, the reboot, or the continuation of Jurassic Park. Continuation of number 4, technically it's Jurassic World, the new trilogy. He did that. He did another movie, movie bomb, said, okay, you're off The Last Jedi. He said himself, got the script, some bits that got saved for this movie, basically the first act. He said, my script never had Palpatine come back. What happened was Leia was supposed to continue on the 3rd movie. Han Solo, that was The Force Awakens. That was the Han Solo movie. Got killed, okay, we got it. The 2nd movie was where Luke gets knocked off, okay? So The Last Jedi was supposed to be Luke Skywalker's story. The last movie, The Rise of Skywalker, was supposed to be Princess Leia's story. Well, she dropped on Last Jedi. Yeah,
so and I knew it was going to happen. Remember,
I had to change the whole 3rd movie. Go ahead.
Get some water. I remember when I said to you that they should have maybe have gotten rid of her by the 2nd movie because she seemed to be out of it a bit because, the woman's elderly. She's, I guess, maybe she looked like she wasn't there that much.
She had a hard life.
Yes.
Combination drugs and alcohol,
yes.
Everybody knew.
Yes.
Yeah, and she got warned, and she was not on top of her game, shall we say. She was not in her best health.
That's
why 20 years of abuse of alcohol.
Even in the movie, it looked like she was having problems. She looked older than what she really was.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She was like, in her 60s, and she looked like she was in her 70s going towards 80s.
Yeah, I mean, that's Hollywood.
And they should have realized and said, maybe they should have taken her off of that movie. Like when she went off into space, that's where they should have ended her, and that would have been a fine way to go.
Right.
But they were like, no, we got to bring her back, do it silly, and then force this poor woman to do another 20-hour shoot. and it wasn't going to happen. And she passed away. I knew it was going to happen, and it didn't make any sense for them to do it. But they wanted to go to the till. You good now?
Yeah, I'm good now. Thank you. Okay. Good save. Anyway, but as far as rumors, Overlord DVD. Again, these are rumors.
Yeah.
He does have some information. The thing is, he can say, "Oh, everybody dies out there." We don't know because they've gone through so many cuts, and it's still desperate. And then there's some post-production. Another rumor that had the whole cast show up as ghosts. You know, nope, deleted. Okay, Anakin. Hayden Christian or Christian Hayden. Thank you.
Hayden Christensen.
The original Anakin. He made an appearance. He got paid. He showed up.
Oof.
And he did his scenes.
Yes.
And deleted. There's some stuff deleted. The rumor is what I thought. Okay, you said they should show the different versions in theaters, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Why not?
They did
that with Clue.
Right. Bob Iger had one cut. He is the president of Walt Disney. He came out with a book talking about the deals. Maybe I'll mention that in the next show. Kathleen Kennedy, she wants Rey to be the queen of the universe, whatever. And then George Lucas had his cut where he shows up with that secret other Skywalker that was never mentioned. Even though the character that Lucas had in mind has been somewhere between the Rebels, somewhere between the Clone Wars, somewhere in the original trilogy. Was it Ahsoka has been mentioned? Maybe she was a secret Jedi. Completely deleted, wiped out, 100%. Maybe they can come out with his version on DVD.
Well, they killed Ahsoka. Darth Vader killed Ahsoka, so I don't even know how they bring her back.
Look, once they
Force Ghosts?
Look, once they brought Palpatine back, it's over. That's it.
Force Ghosts. Force Ghosts.
Everybody's a fucking Force Ghost.
It's even like when I was telling people, like the rumors were out there, like they were saying like Obi-Wan Kenobi in the first Star Wars may have died a long time ago, and that may have been a Force Ghost character from the beginning.
Could have been,
I'm saying because, look, when Darth Vader strikes him down, he says, "Oh, you killed me, I'm going to be stronger." He strikes him down, sort of like a reminiscence of The Last Jedi. He strikes him down, he's not there. He was a Force Ghost. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
I was fighting a Force Ghost.
He was hanging
all this time, he wasn't alive. He died a long time ago.
What we're going to get, we don't know. Listen to Overlord DVD. I think he's pretty much on the money. But, he can know, I can know, we can all know. The people who don't know.
Who cares?
The people who do not know for sure is Disney itself. They don't know what's going to happen. A movie's going to have they're going to premiere it in Japan. Here's a hint. They're going to premiere it in Japan because Japan really don't care. China cares even less. Okay, and whatever happens in Japan, they're going to go and retweak it at the last minute. So whatever shows up in Japan doesn't mean we're going to get the same cut. We do not know what cut. Neither does Disney right now. That's why they're taking a chance premiering it in Japan. Let's see what happens. Okay, one thing for sure, China's not going to save the day. China, the last couple movies bombed there, and the
Joker didn't even need China.
No,
the Joker did it all by himself.
Yeah.
Look, in reality, you do a good movie, you do somewhat that some people like. You don't need outside influences.
Right.
It's all here, folks.
And one last thing I want to say. Somebody said, well, some people say, it's about Rey, feminism, woman power. We don't get enough.